default retention period is set for the table? So the answer is 1. And the next question is, how many days we can travel back? How many days we can travel back? And what was the price for that? The answer is maximum up to 90 days we can travel back. Okay, so based on addition, price may vary. Okay, and the next expected interview question is, how we will get to know whether how we will get to know how long we can travel back? How we will how long we can travel back? So by executing show tables like single quotation table name. So by executing show tables like single quotation table name, so we will get to know so what is the retention period is set for the table. That will tell you, or that will tell us how long we can travel back. Okay, which means so this statement, if I execute this statement, so we will get to know what is the retention period is set for this table. So if it is set for 10 days, we can travel back up to 10 days. So which means based on, it is purely dependent on what is the retention period is set for the table, that will tell us how long we can travel back. Okay. How to disable time travel in Snowflake? So by executing alter table name, set data retention time in days equal to 0. Okay, so how we can increase the time travel? How many days we can, or how can we increase the days? By indicating here the sentence is instead of 0, how many days you want to travel back, you can specify those many days. Okay, and the next question is, how many ways we can older version of the data. So one is using offset and using before and timestamp. Okay, so these are really important questions. Out of these 5 questions, at least you can expect any one question. So if the people start digging inside, then you may expect all these questions also. Okay, any questions? So the important point here is, so when we are working on a time travel, so it is always a good idea to create one backup table by traveling to older version of the table. Okay, so don't forget this. In case if we are working on production table, I'm taking live example. I have a production table, production or live, both are same only. Okay, so I have a table called employee. So in the employee table, having somewhere around some 6 lakhs people are there. 6 lakh records, in the sense 6 lakhs employees working in the organization. Okay, so this HR people, so in a huge organization, so many people will join at the same time, many people will get promoted and many people will resign it, and they will leave from the organization. So those all the details has to be get updated by HR people, right? So there will be a chances like by the name is almost same but one letter is different, but employee IDs are different. Okay, so that cases by mistakenly, so and so person is about to get promoted or he is about to relieving at the so and so date, and he has to serve once he resign it, he has to serve in notice period, right? So or if the person is left from the organization, so there are many cases, right? So instead of updating the expected employee details are not get updated properly. Okay, so the persons who is already working in real times, so you guys aware few of the people's the complete details including phone number, their photos, it get updated properly in the communicator. Few people's those details won't get updated, and this kind of issues we used to frequently observe. And whoever is onboarded, some people whatever their nominee details in terms of the PF or gratuity related, you guys already filled it but it was not reflected. So these kind of issues, very rare cases people used to find it, which means the persons they updated correctly, but the data which is pulled by the HR people, it was not correctly, they didn't pull and they didn't maintain properly. That's where we used to get this kind of issues. So that cases, what we can do is we will create one backup table. Okay, so once you create a backup table and once you travel back to get the older version of the data, the complete older version of the data, it will be available in backup table, and you can truncate the production table. Okay, which means you delete the complete records in the production table. So now in the backup table having all the information, and insert the data from backup table to production table. Okay, this is how we have to work. So it is not at all suggestible without a backup table. If you are trying to performing anything directly on table, it is really not at all suggestible. So if you do it, if something went wrong, then the complete production table will get corrupted. So that is the reason even the Snowflake itself, it is suggesting us whenever you are working on time travel, which means you are trying to pulling older version of the data. So that time you can create one backup table. So the older version of the data, it will move to backup table. So now you can verify a backup table and production table. Now you will get it what operations I did on that day. So you can compare it and you can update it accordingly. Clear? Any doubts? So this feature is not at all available in any of the database except Snowflake. Okay, so that's where the Snowflake they named it as time travel. So still, if we lost the data, we can travel back. So they named as time travel. Okay, so in other databases, what they used to do is they should dependent on backup server 100%. Some of the other reason they didn't took the backup. Then we will lose the data. And it is really difficult for the consumers to pull the older version of the data. It takes lot of time. Okay, so in development and quality system which we are using is just for testing purpose, but when you come to the live, then that is really important. Whatever you are doing, that everything it will get recorded in the production. Okay, so if you make any wrong operation or any, instead of updating even if one letter is missed in the invoice or billing, if I missed one letter here, the whole payment it will go to different account, and it is really hard for the consumers as well as the technical persons and the admin people to track the data, because once the payment is done, then you cannot blame on anyone. And this kind of mistakes you will get it only in auditing time only. If the auditing time, if the person is found, then we have to give a proper justification. So don't think too much, because some of the you guys may not have very good exposure on business structure and how the consumers and how the data and why the production data is sensitive. So you may not get an idea now. By experience, you guys may get slowly. By experience, you will get an idea. Okay, so for time being, you can concentrate on topic, how it is, how it will work. Okay, don't take it easy on production system. You can do trials and errors in development and quality, but not in production. Okay, any Any doubts on time travel? Okay. So you may get doubt. So what will happen if I set the time travel for 90 days, maximum 90 days I set it. But after 90 days I realized it. I should not update those records. So still there is a chance to get the data. Ideally, as a Snowflake developer, as a Snowflake admin, we cannot get after 90 days. Okay, so this case, after 90 days, what will happen is the data will be completely go and get register in the fail-safe zone. So this is a fail-safe. Okay. So after 90 days, maximum 90 days we can travel back. After 90 days, what will happen is that data, it will get recorded in fail-safe and it will stay there for 7 days maximum. Okay, so once the data get register in a fail-safe zone, fail-safe, then no user operations performed. Okay, no Snowflake developer, no admin people cannot Any doubts here? So this is, we don't have much to discuss about failsafe because this is completely handled by Snowflake support team. So failsafe is nothing but once the retention period is over, then automatically the data will takes the backups of the data and will get registered in failsafe zone. Once the data is available in failsafe, no user operations performed, and it will stay there for 7 days. If we want to get the data from failsafe, then we have to connect to Snowflake supporting. So for that, Snowflake will charge a bit extra. Any doubts here? I'm assuming everyone is clear. So I'll add another 3 or 4 points tomorrow, and I'll show you where this fail-safe feature will be enabled in Snowflake. Okay. If no questions, then we will close the session today.